Okay, a few minutes ago, we showed our money matrix and it referenced some fast cars, and that was in honor of today's instructor, Mr. Michael Huggins. Most of you know that a few years ago, he was a grease monkey at Jiffy Lube and at Sears Auto Center. He knew that there was something more that he wanted in life, and he wanted to be the one coming in and getting his car serviced rather than have to service everybody else's car. He wanted to be the one that was driving fast cars and vintage cars and having fun. He's now jet setting all over the country. He is one of the most popular speakers in Renatus, and that's because he's one of the top 5 money makers. And he is here today to help us join that game. Good morning, Chris. Michael, sorry, how are you doing?
All right. Good morning. Good morning, Ron. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Renatus Nation. All right. Look at that beautiful picture. Thanks, Ron. Okay, we're going to switch over to screen share. Okay. So, everybody, what should we talk about today? What do you guys want to talk about today? All right, we got a lot of topics we could cover, and I want to know what you guys want to cover. Bum. All right. So we got a chat. You can also come off of mute. What do you desire? What would you like? What do you want to create today? All right, and not everyone answer at once. I can't handle all the input. Okay, maybe I can narrow it down. Daniel, what's up? Talk to me.
Is it possible we can talk about closing? That's one area I've been focusing tremendously on. All the help.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. You and me, Daniel. We're going to get you to be the closer you know you could be. So, are you in a spot where you could talk for a while, Dan?
Yes.
Okay. Let's figure this out then, because if we can help you get it, thank you. If we can help you get it, then anybody could get it. Isn't that right?
You're right. Absolutely right.
Okay, so tell me what's happening. When you say closing, what do you mean by that? How can I fill in the gaps? Where are we weak? What can we strengthen?
Oh man, and that's such a good question. I've just been having challenges maybe lowering their action threshold in terms of moving forward. So I have people, they want to do it. They trust me. They think the product's amazing, but there's just that one thing, or whatever the case is, it's just getting them to move forward. So that's really that. That's my challenge, because I've met multiple people right now. I have about 4 or 5 people that have the money to buy, and I'm meeting back with them. It's just, I should have closed them already. These people are closable. They've told me that they're basically closable. I haven't cracked the code yet. I feel like I'm getting progress, but I'm just not there where my potential is.
Okay. So when you say closing, what does that look like? How would I know if I was watching you when I'm seeing you do the closing that you're talking about, that you're referencing to? What would that look like?
It's going to be a one-on-one either through Zoom, so I'll use Zoom, or in person. I'll talk in regards to getting uh, getting more information about them, their why, what their passion is. From then on, what their pain is, what their challenge is, and moving forward. And then I try to get them to focus on their passion and remind them and basically leverage their pain professionally if that's something that's holding them back. So get them to focus on what they want and their why versus what they're scared of.
Okay. So then you cover all of that and you get the why. Like, all right, cool, got your why. I understand your pain. I understand the challenge. And here's your passion. Now what?
Go ahead and give me your authorization. Let's get you started, okay?
Okay, so you say that. Okay. And then what do they say?
And then they'll go into, some kind of put off or stall. So they'll say, let's say, give me time to think about it. And then I'll use one of Grant Cardone's closer survival guide techniques and just put off the stall and ask for the order again.
Okay. Okay, so when they say, let me think about it, what do you say?
So if they say, let me think about it, there's a couple different things I could say. One of them, it could be, I understand if you need time to think about it. And there's typically three things that you're going to need to know or think about in terms of making this decision. May I share them with you? Okay. And they'll say, yeah, of course. The first is, can you see yourself working with me? Second is, can you, or do you like the product? Can you see yourself benefiting from the product? And the third is, can you afford it? Like, if you wanted to put it on a card right now, could you purchase that? And they'll say yes. And then I'll just go right into asking for the order again. Another thing that I'm sorry?
No, keep going.
Another thing I may say is, I understand completely. And thinking is, depending on the type of individual I'm speaking to. So if it's somebody that's used to making a lot of money, I can say, Mr. Customer, Mr. Prospect, you're used to making multi-million-dollar decisions. This is not one of them. This is a drop in the bucket for you. Let's get you going. Let's get you started. Or I can just let them know that, thinking is something that's instant. Think about an elephant. Did you get it? Think about you making you living in a mansion. Did you get it? Right now, it's a time for a decision. Okay. Whether it's yes or no doesn't affect me, but make a decision, basically. That one's a little rough, but.
Okay. Good. Okay. Good. All right. That gives me something to work with. So the release statement, making sure we're using that in every one of our conversations. Okay, so when you do your loop and then you ask for the order again after you do this, do you want to work with me? Do you like the product? Can you afford it? And you ask for the order again. What does that sound like?
In terms of what they say or?
What you say. Are you using the phrase, give me your credit card number?
Got you. So it'll basically be like, okay, let me get your authorization. Let's get you started. Or, yeah, that's basically what it is. Let's get you started. Let's get you. let's get you going.
Okay. How about you start saying, are you in? Because that authorization thing, yes, I get that it's better than saying, let's sign some paperwork. But you say authorization. You've said it a couple times on this call. I'm picking up that you say that frequently with your one-on-ones.
Yes, that's been my go-to so far.
Okay.
If I have like a product sheet. So if I have like a product sheet and have them sign off and put their credit card number on it. Versus if I have just my laptop, I'll just be like, let's get you started. So it's either or.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to switch to laptop only, or I have. Okay. So we have the components. We're just missing some finesse, I guess. There's a little bit to it. So I also know it's early and you weren't prepared to talk on the on the webinar today. So I appreciate you playing. Okay. When you're doing your release statement, I want you to have this idea in the back of your mind that I'm fine. Hey, Mr. Customer, you got to know whether you say yes or no, or I ever see your face again, I'm fine. I'm going to be fine. I've been fine. I'm fine. This is about you. So you need to let me know, are you in or out? Right? Because I think, can I get your authorization is, for me, I would use that when I'm talking about raising capital. Like, all right, we're going to use your $200,000 for this deal. I just need you to authorize this deal. Whereas when I'm talking to customers here, it's like, look, you're either in the huddle or you're out the huddle, right? The people in the huddle get overwhelming support and information to change their lives, and the people out of the huddle don't. So, are you in? Now, what I'm noticing from this checklist that's not on here is the comp plan. Are you showing people the comp plan?
I'm showing people the comp plan that have a sales and marketing background. My ad's a real estate investor trainee. So when I qualify my prospects for my 15-minute call before I invite them to an event, I'll get their background. Individuals that have a sales or marketing type background, I'll mention it lightly if it's something they'd be interested in. And if they are, I'll meet with them and go over the comp plan. So I do go over the comp plan the way that I believe I learned it from you, where you go over, it's like 1 through 8, and then you'll have the 3 different columns, 125 essentials and combo. And that's been effective for me.
Okay. Okay. Do you remember, were you on when we talked about the checklist of doing our following up with our guests? Were you on this one? This is what I talked about with people whenever we went over in our one-on-ones. Have we had the conversation about the work comparison? Right? You're working over here. I'm saying, come work over here. You're working at that craptacular job. Come work in this amazing community. Right? Going over the comp plan, an incentive. Did you give them confidence in our funding?
Maybe that's something that I'm lacking on, because like the people that I'm speaking with, they have good credit or they have a way to pay for it, but they're still stressing on the financial aspect of it. They're still stressing on the 20 grand. So maybe it's the confidence and funding that I'm really lacking in, because I'm trying to explain it to them in a way where they're getting something versus losing 20 something. I don't know. So maybe that's my area that I'm struggling in, but not
Okay.
limited to.
Shedding some light on this. Gosh, this was a good one. You're gonna have to go back and watch this, dude. I don't remember which day this was.
Yeah, I don't remember that one either. So
Okay, so confidence with funding. Let me ask you this. Did you you bought the combo, right?
yes, sir.
Okay. How much would you, now knowing what it contains and what's out there, how much would you be willing to spend on a combo? There's no right or wrong answer. I'm just curious.
I mean, the value easily exceeds $100,000. I mean, if I would have saw that price, it probably would have gave me, a little bit of sticker shock, like, oh, you know, but given the compensation, the money I've made through the marketing, what I'm learning on the real estate, the deals I'm in now, yeah, the value definitely exceeds that.
Oh, crap. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
Hey, Brian. Hey, Brian. Brian, I'm the only one who can swear on this fucking webinar. Anyway, that was weird. Awesome.
Oh, stupid.
Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Okay. Dude, you got to show more people the compensation plan. Okay, you've got to show more people this comp plan, because you're the one, you are paying your bills with it, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so aren't these people also wondering in the back of their mind how they're going to pay their bills?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this needs to be in your checklist.
So are you
Okay.
saying like literally every person I sit down with, I should go over the comp plan?
If you've asked for the order and they say no, and then you overcome that, and then you ask again and they say no again, then you say, you know what? I think we've forgotten to cover something. Let's cover this. And then, yeah, we need to show them the comp plan. This is, did you buy because you saw the comp plan? How much of your buying decision came from you seeing the compensation plan?
My combo came from the comp plan.
Okay. So if you don't show people the comp plan, then you're missing out on the motivation that made you do the whole thing. So you got to show them, and you got to show them with enthusiasm. Especially if they're saying, yes, they want to work with you. Yes, they like the product. Yes, they can afford it. But they're getting hung up on the money thing. It's because you haven't showed them that they can make their money back. So, let's talk about the comp plan for a quick second. It's different, just a different way to think about it, okay? So let's say, what's one of your customers' names? You can make it up or it could be real. Who is this guy? Max? Maximilian. Okay. So Max said, yes, I want to work with you. Yes, I like the product. Yes, I have the money, but no, I'm not going to pay for it. Is this typical? Is this what's happening for you?
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
Okay.
It's more like, yes, they have the money, but they don't believe they have the money. Like they have a 750 credit score, or they have room on their credit cards, or So they have the money, but in their mind, they don't have the money.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep. So, you need to put on your coach hat, right? Put on your coach hat. And when they realize, when you know they can get the money, but they're acting like they don't, you need to turn into coaches. And depending on who they are, you're going to use this different coaching language. And, it's like when you say can't around me. How many times did I have to tell you that's a swear word? Don't say that around me before you changed. It was only a couple times, right? And you're like, oh yeah, this is terrible language. I'm not going to use it. So because I coached you through that and held you to that higher standard, you actually wanted to be around me more, right? Because I'm not necessarily nice. Right? I'm not known as nice. Maybe some people think I'm nice, but I want to go for effective. And so when I heard you use ineffective language, I just said, no, stick to effective. And you're like, oh, I want more of that. So sometimes you need to be the salesperson and sometimes you need to be the coach. And the coach, what is a coach for? The coach is to shed light on blind spots, right? Why we get coaches for all different areas of our life. So what you need to try out, I think is going to work really great in your favor, is being the coach to these people and saying, look, I'm going to coach you through a few things. First of all, if you really want to be financially free, you're going to have to stop saying shit like I don't have the money. I don't want to hear that anymore. That's done. We don't talk like that around here. If you're going to keep thinking I don't have the money, why am I talking to you?
I like it.
Okay? I'll give you some time to write that stuff down. But I'm going to be your coach. Now, I've been around. I've gone through the training. I am qualified through this company. I've done it. I've been there. And I know when people have the money and they can actually do this. So it's not your ability, Max. It's not your ability. Okay? Your ability isn't in question. Okay? It's not your ability. It's your mindset. And do you know what is the only difference between poor people and rich people? Is a mindset. So, Max, would you agree that if you had the money right now, that you would do this? Or one of your tie-down questions like that will go there. Now you need to get into coach mode, because if they can't see it, but now they're willing to take on this mindset thing that you're talking about, then you need to paint the picture. Okay? Here's a great thing to draw out on a napkin. Everyone pay attention, screenshots, napkin time. Okay. So Max, this is what I want to help you with, because you don't know, or maybe no one ever taught you, or you never noticed. There are only 3 cash flow patterns that exist. Okay? 3 cash flow patterns. So, Max, are you familiar with this document? Have you seen something like this before? They're going to say no. You're going to say this is called a balance sheet. Okay? This is called a balance sheet, or in the banking world, another way of putting it is your report card. Right? Now, Max, in school, everyone cared about your grades. Well, here, nobody gives a crap about your grades. That's great news for people like you and me. If you know what I mean, whatever, say your funny friend thing there. We don't care about your grades, but what banks definitely care about is your balance sheet. And they're going to be able to tell right away if you know what you're doing based off of you being able to fill out a balance sheet, or you filling out a credit application or a loan application. Okay, if you have a balance sheet, then you turn in a balance sheet. If you don't have a balance sheet, then you fill out a loan application. So you've already changed the dynamic with your bank, right? You're either going to do a balance sheet or a loan application. So let's take a quick minute so I can show you what a balance sheet is so you're not getting punked by banks. Let's take a quick minute and cover this. There are 3 cash flow patterns. So here's what you got to understand about a balance sheet. This is income. This is expenses. This is assets. This is liabilities. Okay? So the first type of person, when they receive their money comes in, they pay their bills, money goes out. That is a cash flow pattern. Okay? There's another cash flow pattern where money comes in, it buys liabilities, which create expenses, and then money goes out. And then there's one where money comes in, it buys assets, which create more income, then that money goes out to pay the bills. So, where are you right now? Max, where do you fall in line? How does your cash flow? What are you doing? I'm going to guess that you're either in this one or you're in this one, or we wouldn't even be talking. So I'm going to do you a favor, and we're going to work towards getting you over here. This is the name of the game. This is why Renatus exists, is to get you into a place where assets are paying for your lifestyle. We're going to get you there. I know about our funding program. I want to give you some confidence in our funding program because it has been dialed into such a way that it's not even going to affect your cash flow for sometimes up to 2 years. Here's what I mean by that. If you have a 750 credit score and you get 0% interest credit cards, let's say we were able to get you $30,000 on your credit card. What you're going to do, Max, like a lot of other people, Max, this is what you're going to do. You're going to put $20,000 on the 0% interest credit card. And you're going to start doing velocity banking. And you're going to start to pay this thing off. Okay? Now, what's going to happen is on your paper, on your balance sheet, you're going to have $20,000 as a debt on your balance sheet. Okay? Yes, that's real. I get that. And at the same time, it is 0%. So guess what happens to this number right here? This number, the difference between your in and your out, stays the same, Max. Stays the same. Because it's 0% interest, the money you're making right now and the money you're spending right now stays the same. So, Max, if you do what you're taught, which you're going to do what you're taught, right? You're not going to just sign up for a bunch of classes taught by millionaires and listen to them, right? You're going to do what you're taught, right? Okay. So what you're going to do then is you're going to pay this credit card off, how velocity banking teaches you how to do it. And what I want you to recognize is if you were making $2,000 a month as your income and you were spending $1,900 a month in expenses, and we go and put $20,000 on your credit card at 0% interest, it's all going to stay the same. Now you can learn your classes. We're going to raise your credit. We're going to help you make more money. How are we going to help you make more money? We got this thing called the comp plan, which you definitely have to check out. And you're going to use this income to start pushing this down. And again, your income stays the same. Doesn't matter if you're making, it doesn't matter what you make and what you spend. Because you've taken care of your credit, we're going to introduce you to people that are going to get you 0% interest. And so month by month, as you're learning this stuff, For now, this is going to stay the same. And what is ultimately going to change is your income is going to go up because you're going to start doing what these millionaires are telling you to do. So your income is going to go up, but your expenses stay the same. This is on 0% interest. So when you guys are seeing this, at this point, this is where I would say, okay, so does this make sense? Are you with me on this? Yes. Okay, so I'm taking that as you're in. We're doing this thing. Let's get you some 0% interest credit cards. We're doing this. Okay, you got to lean into that tension. All right, looks like we're getting a lot of chats. Let me get caught up here. Oh my goodness. Oh, Stacy, clarifying questions. Okay, we could do that. Okay, Daniel, do you see Wanda's comment in here?
Is that the one about, let me see.
I close by adding value to the service I'm providing. The value is on the events. The events do the closing. I just do the after. So this is where if you show them the comp plan and you say, look, you don't have to explain a damn thing. You just got to put people in here.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I've had success because I've been decent at putting people there. And so most people, the product sells itself. Where my challenge is on the people that it requires a little more effort on my part in terms of professionally getting them to move forward. Does that make sense?
What do you mean professionally getting them to move forward?
Well, as a professional closer, it's not your job to, sell the person. It's just your job to remove whatever roadblock they have so they can move forward with what we know is good for them. That's what I mean by it. Does that make sense?
That doesn't make sense. Will you say that again?
Okay. So as a professional closer, in my mind, I'm thinking it's my job because the close is in my control ultimately. So it is up to me to remove whatever roadblock they currently have so they can move forward with the service or product that we know is good for them. They feel is good for them, but they're in their own way. Does that make sense?
Gosh, dude, that is the most uninspiring definition of your job ever.
You got me questioning myself, like.
Yeah, this is why no one's buying from you. They're like, well, what do you do all day? And you're like, well, I professionally align my customer with the product.
I don't say that, but
I know, but you're thinking it. That's why you're telling me. It's back in there somewhere. We got to change your job description in your brain. Okay? You supply the tools and atmosphere for people to take back their existence so they don't die like a punk. If you start telling people that, they're going to be like, what? And be like, yeah, that's why we're talking right now. You're dying like a punk. You don't even know it. Because then you can go back to any of the fear stuff they're talking about, right? They're like, well, I can't afford it. Be like, that's what the bank wants you to think, you fool. You're falling for it right now. This is why I'm here. I'm helping you take back your existence so you don't die like a punk. So what's your credit card number? Let's do this. And Sarah, I apologize. I could definitely watch the language. That was uncalled for. Sorry. We're professionals. Okay, so what if they're like, all right, cool. All right, Dan, you're right. You're totally right. I've been thinking all wrong. Oh, let's point out a few more things about these cash flow patterns real quick, okay? This portion of the cash flow pattern is called the rat race. Rat race is right here, right? Because they just get in more debt and more debt and more debt and more debt, but it's shiny, okay? And then this right here, what is this called? This is called early retirement, right? If your assets are paying your bills, aren't you done? So because most of your customers aren't over here, they need to pay us 20 grand to move them over here. And then you get to ask them, well, wouldn't early retirement be worth 20 grand? Okay, so use these cash flow patterns as just observations. Say, we specialize in getting you over here. And they're going to say, how? You say, buy the classes. The classes tell you how. And they're like, well, you tell me. No, I don't tell you. You pay people for that. That's what I did. We're going to move you over here, but you got to buy. You got to get in. You got to pay. And they're going to keep asking you, well, how? I'm going to say, online. Don't answer the how questions. You answer the what questions. The how you leave to the professionals. And if they're like, well, how do I know? If you're with them, then just open up your laptop and say, well, what do you want to watch? Okay, Rodrigo just punched in here. Let's make some sales, dude. So I was hanging out with Rodrigo. He made his first sale last week. He started marketing less than a month ago. Got his first sale last week. And the guy was just kind of like, well, I don't know. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and I got 2 rentals off YouTube videos. What do I need you for? And so all Rodrigo did was he opened up his laptop, and he said, you have to hear Garrett Gunderson. This is why. And he just pulled up a class, sat there for 20 minutes and watched the class with him. Okay, so if they're like, well, how am I going to get rich? You can give them a sample of the class, or, Daniel, you have never once called me while you were in that conversation with somebody and said, you know what? Let's call somebody. Let's talk to someone else who's experiencing some success other than me. Don't take my word for it. Which millionaire should I pick from my phone book? Ooh, let's call Michael. Right? If I don't answer, call the next person. There's 73 other people on this line. Right? So sometimes when they're thinking, well, how do I know this is going to work? You say, well, here's a list of testimonials. Let's get it going. Okay, so cash flow patterns, bring up the issue. I think you guys get enough of that. Okay, so now once you've asked for the sale, you've got the tie down, AFTO, and they said, okay, fine, I'm in, but I don't have the money. You can still start an order. Okay, you can still enter an order right for the 19994. You can say, all right, cool, this is what you're doing. You're getting a combo. Great news, you're getting a combo. And let's say it's 9, 10 o'clock at night. They're gonna put in their get funded application or assessment, but they might not be contacted for 24 to 48 hours. So what if you went to enter their order and you ran their card for $100? You said, all right, well, to reserve your spot, I'm gonna need you to put down $100 right now, $100. Now, of course, don't go for 1,000, go for 10,000. Say, all right, well, no worries, Max. To reserve your spot, I just need you to put 50% down right now. And they're like, I don't have that. Okay. Do you have $1,000? We can put down $1,000 right now to lock in your spot. No, you don't have that? Okay, well, thank God you have a good credit score. Do you have $100? Do you have $500? When you go and enter an order, as the system sits right now, when Helios comes out, it'll change. But as it sits right now, And it'll get better. When I say change, it'll get better. You go enter an order, and it's going to say, how much do you want to run the card for? All right, let's just go through it real quick together as a team. Let's make sure this works. Okay, secure.myrenatus.com. Orders. Enter education order. We're going to sign up. We're going to sign up Vanessa. Vanessa Nunu. This one. Okay, next. Now she's like, I don't have the money. I'm like, okay, you got $5,000? No. You got $1,000? No. You have $100? Yes. Okay, you got a good credit score, so we know we're going to get you the rest of the money. We're going to lock in your spot right now. You're going to show me that you're serious. $100. We're doing it right now. Okay, come in here, credit card, copy info from customer, and now it's going to say amount to charge right here. If you change this to whatever they're putting down to lock in their spot with you, put some money in. Okay, then when you go and you run it, after you fill out the rest of the info and you hit next and you submit that order, it's going to say your order was placed, but it didn't finalize because there wasn't enough funds. That's fine for you. As the marketer, you're going to put this person's order in. You collected them some money. Then when you go into your pending orders, it's going to say left to pay. It's going to say 19,894 because we paid $100. And there'll be a spot for you to add payments later on the road, down the road. You can do that. But for now, you can capture some funds. Right? What made me start thinking about this was when people were like, hey, well, I just have people put their 125 in and have them get started as an IMA. And there are pros and cons of that, right? If they know the comp plan, then cool, by all means, let's get it going. They can start taking comp plan training. But if we haven't talked about the comp plan, they're not motivated by the comp plan, they don't want to be an IMA, how do we get this commitment? How do we get an account set up? And how do we put something towards us getting paid? Right? We get paid off of education, not off of IMAs. Okay? So maybe you capture $400 or $500, and then they go, oh, crap, I can't do the 20 grand. You say, it's all good. That 500 that you put in, we're just going to convert it, and you're actually going to have an essentials account. No big deal. No big deal for the customer, but then you got to call corporate, and you got to do a few things and get it worked out. But now we can start to capture some funds. Okay, and they're like, well, I'll have $100 next Friday too. All right, cool. Call you on Friday, another $100, and you go and add it in. Then the next, and the next, and the next, $100, $100, $100. Does this make sense? Is this helping? Daniel, is this something you could do?
Yes, sir. Definitely is.
Yeah. They're like, well, I don't know. And you'd be like, are you seriously letting $100 today stop you from joining a real estate millionaire club? Then you're gonna have to say, wait a minute. Oh man, if you're letting $400 stop you from doing this, you will never be a millionaire. And then you look them in the face. Look them in the face, nice pleasant face, kind of half smiling. You know, if you're going to let $400 stop you, I don't think you're going to be a millionaire. That's coach talking. That's not salesman, right? That's coach talking. That's saying, dude, really? You're telling me right now you are walking around on planet Earth without $100. Holy crap, then you need this even more than you understand. So no matter what, they have $100, cool, collect it. And when I say 100, that is just to represent a down payment of some sort going towards a cash combo. Okay, I'm not saying go for the $100. I'm saying get as much down as possible. If someone's got $5,000 and you know that they're going to get more, then just collect the $5,000 now, and in a week, when the rest of the money comes in through Get Funded Online, then you can attach it there. Coach mode. All right, so what I'm going to suggest is a couple of you guys need to go back and watch this webinar that I made. For some reason, you guys are losing out on it. Okay, select, copy. Okay, so take this link, paste, go. All right, so these are all recorded. So last year, when I did that breakdown, yeah, this is when we switched to Zoom. Sweet. Okay, so I did that breakdown of the checklist. Right? Where was that? That was right here. So what day was that? December 10th. Okay, December 10th is when I did this. I want all of you on the line here to go watch this again. Okay, so December 10th. So come here, December. Maybe it's not December 10th. Oh yeah, so it'll be this one. This line item right here, number 9244. Wealth Wednesday, Michael Huggins. The description is using a checklist with candidates with recruitment. Okay, so go and watch this one, line 244. Watch the recording.
Hey, Michael, how do we get there again?
How do we get there? Let's see.
Michael, Ron here. I will post that, a notation to that or a link to that in both the Facebook and our YouTube channel with today's program.
Okay, cool. So Dan, you know that we have our own YouTube channel where we put all these trainings. Okay, it's called Elevate Renatus. You see that at the bottom here, Elevate Renatus videos.
Okay.
Here they all are.
Did not know that.
So yeah, they're put up here, but then there's also a spreadsheet with the list. So that's it right there. Team call 12, 13, 17. Look at those. Look at the amount of views. Oh man, that makes me feel awesome temporarily. Let's see, who do we need to fire? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. It's not what I'm thinking. All right, cool. 2 more minutes. Kara says, how do we get on the Facebook? There's an app for that, Kara. Just kidding, just kidding. This is how I use Facebook. Before it even loads, come up to groups. Don't even look at your silly wall. Elevate SLC. Add members. Kara. There you go.
Can you add Daniel too?
Kara. Daniel. Boom. Now you're both in. Sylvia, are we friends on Facebook? This is the most time I've spent on Facebook all month. Okay, Sylvia, you need to send me a friend request, and then I can get you added. Or Ron can add you if you're already connected. All right, yay. So we post things and stuff in here also for you to use. Flyers and stuff and things. Cool. Okie dokie, guys. Sucrete, you're not in there either? Come on, man. You run the Utah or the Colorado one. Sucrete. Boom. There. Okay. Perfect. All right. So remember, who's in charge? Who is in charge? Who's in charge of your money? Who's in charge of your business? All you need to do is remind yourself and be willing to take 100% responsibility. If you take responsibility, more people are going to sign up with you because they're going to be like, hey, this person's responsible. It's very rare to meet a responsible person in the world. And so when you show responsibility, they'll sign up just for that. All right, team. Go fight, win. Wealth Wednesday. Share this with somebody. Don't be shy. Spread the word. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Ciao.